Welcome to another session of Phony Baloney. I heard this book is going to be boring. This book looks like it's going to be boring. She calls on everyone but me. We never agree. Every day you're yelling at me. Hoffman sucks at sports. Have you heard these statements before? I have. Unfortunately, I hear them on a weekly basis, and so therefore, I am glad, actually eager, to tell you that these statements are false. People who employ these types of statements are employing false logic. It's logic that looks true, but really is not. It's logic that seems to work, but really does not. They are overgeneralizing. They're taking one piece of evidence and making it apply to the whole, and therefore making it invalid and not true. Let's take a look at some specifics. I heard this book is going to be boring. Is going to be implies that this person has not read the whole book. So they are going off of maybe somebody else's opinion, maybe the book cover, maybe a couple of paragraphs, or even a couple chapters. But they haven't read the whole book. So to say the whole book is going to be boring when you haven't read it is overgeneralizing, taking one part, one piece of evidence, applying it to the whole. False logic, phony baloney. Look at the next one. She calls on everyone but me. Everyone is an absolute statement. It's an absolute word, and usually absolutes are absolutely unnecessary or false. So, does she really call on every single person except for you? Highly unlikely. Have never seen that. Never is an absolute. I apologize, but it's true right now. I'm telling you it's true. I have never seen that. We never agree. Never. Not on any single thing. Have you even talked about every single thing you can under the sun? There's not one thing that you disagree with? Unlikely. Probably not true. Every day you're yelling at me. There's that absolute word again. Again, absolutes aren't wrong to use. You can use absolutes. Just be sure that when you use them, they are absolutely true. Every day you're yelling at me. Think about how tiring that would be for a teacher or a friend or a parent to be yelling at their student or their kid, friend, every single day. Unlikely that that's happening. And if it is, what are you dealing with that for? Stand up for yourself. Hoffman sucks at sports. What does that even mean, first of all? What sports are you talking about? Have you even defined what sucks means? Are you talking about every single sport? I mean, there's several sports that are doing well. And, again, what does it mean specifically to suck or to not suck, to be successful? These are terms that are too general. These speakers and writers are overgeneralizing, employing baloney, false logic. Don't worry though, there's hope. In general, avoid absolutes and generalizations, like always, never, all of them. None of them, everybody, nobody, all of the time, none of the time. And this is not a comprehensive list. There are other terms that you can avoid, other absolutes that I'm sure you will think of as you write them or see them in the things you read. The problem with absolutes is that they're usually not true. Again, sometimes they can be true, and if they are, then go ahead and use them, but only use them when you know for sure that they are true. Well, if I don't use generalizations and absolutes, then what should I use? I should get specific and use facts. Always stick to the facts, get specific, get some details, and then you'll be in a much better position to argue. Use stats, use details, use true, inarguable facts. And if you're going to state something as an opinion, make sure it is clear in your writing that it isn't your opinion or it's a theory. Here are some examples. There's an overgeneralization. My dad's insurance premiums went up. Now that may be true, okay? But to say from that the Healthcare Act isn't working, that's an overgeneralization. That's only one fact to prove the whole thing isn't working. It's just too big of a generalization. Here are some facts. The website crashed 14 times on the first day. Only 741 people enrolled on the first day. At least 8 million people still are uninsured. Okay, now you build up some of the facts, then maybe you can make a better case for the Healthcare Act not working. Here's another example. My mom yells at me every day. Okay? Every day. Again, absolute. Probably not true. A fact could be, today my mom yelled at me about getting a D in math. Of course, do you see the details? Today, a D and math. That sounds like a possible situation, a true situation. Okay? You could also change the absolute. Instead of saying every day your mom yells at you, you could say my mom seemed to be yelling at me, or I felt she was yelling at me. It's hard to argue with your feelings. You may have truly felt that way. But again, sticking to actual facts are better. Our details are better. Another example. Women reject the traditional role of the stay-at-home mom to pursue their selfish career aspirations. So again, you're talking about all women? All of them reject the role of the stay-at-home mom? Unlikely. In fact, that's definitely not true. There's plenty of women who decide to stay at home. Or they accept the role of a stay-at-home mom, they just choose to pursue their career instead or in addition to. That they're selfish is even further of an overgeneralization. We can't know, you don't know exactly why they are choosing their career. It may be selfishness, it may not be. It might help the family. Way too generalized, can't apply to all women. So this is baloney. Better use a stat. 60% of women choose to work rather than stay at home. Now that is a fact. That could be true. And you can build a case off of that. Bonus fact. Overgeneralizing can also be called hasty generalizing or hasty generalizations, oversimplification, and stereotyping. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. Remember, stay sharp, get wise, and remember that Mr. T pities the fool.